Hey everyone, welcome to episode 245 of the All Dolphins podcast. Omar, are you leaving me already? Before we start,
Yeah.
you're leaving me?
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do it by myself. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
Thank you. It's the start of the
Happy season 2.
that, and it's the start of the new NFL league year. So,
Yeah.
so lots to talk about. Obviously, on this Wednesday, March 13th, 4 p.m. Eastern time, the new year began, where things became official. Yeah, and we're going to start with the beginning. I guess the first official move the Dolphins announced today at 4 p.m. or close to 4 p.m. was Xavien Howard. And it came with a little bit of a twist because he was released post-June 1 designation, as we knew, but with a failed physical designation.
What does that mean?
As a more well, it means that that until he signs with another team or he passes the physical, they're on the hook for the $4 million injury guarantee that he had.
Oh, okay.
So come June 1st, if he still hasn't signed or passed the physical, then instead of saving $18.5 million against the cap at that time, or freeing up $18.5 million, they'll be freeing up $14.5 million. I would think that before then he'll be in a position to pass the physical, but nothing in life is guaranteed.
We shall see. I'm very curious to see what Xavien Howard's market is. The cornerback market has not been really that hot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
I concur. The Dolphins did sign a cornerback on Wednesday. They made that one official as well. This was a player we told you about his visit on Tuesday night. That was Surin Neal, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, who was more of a special teams guru, stud core player than he is a DB. Maybe he gets a chance to help out in the secondary. I wouldn't think that's why he was signed, or that's very realistic.
Really will depend on what the contract looks like. If it's in the $2 million a year range, he's a special teams player. If it's in the 4 to upper 5s, then maybe they view him as a real contributor.
Yeah, but we don't have I don't believe we have numbers on that one. And I cannot imagine that a guy who's been a special teams dude for 6 years, all of a sudden you're going to sign him to play defense.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it for a second. And I think what the Dolphins are doing with a lot of those moves, other than maybe Jordan Brooks, Aaron Brewer also had some money involved. But outside of that, Anthony Walker was pretty inexpensive.
Did we get the figures of that deal on Walker?
No, but this is me assuming. I know, and I haven't seen it yet, but this is me assuming. The 2 young DTs that they signed earlier, Isaiah Mack, David Nixon, those are not money deals, are probably like vet minimum or something. So, and then Jordan Poyer was 1 year, $2 million based on the reports. That is chump change for a player.
That's chump change. That's more than Deshaun Elliott made last year. So, but yes.
For a guy who's a one-time Pro Bowl selection, one-time All-Pro, who's like a long-time starter in the NFL, that's chump change.
Okay. If you say so, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay,
I mean, the whole back end of their roster, and it's funny that we're I know all Dolphin fans are in a panic and they're counting up their compensatory picks that they're going to get, and they're licking their wounds just because they lost Robert Hunt and Andrew Van Ginkel and Christian Wilkins and Rayquan Davis and Brandon Jones, and that's all cool. And yeah, that's painful. But I will say this, the style of moves that they're making right now, where they're kind of feasting on the second tier and being aggressive with the third tier free agents early in the process, that's how I would operate if I were running the Miami Dolphins for years. I would not have been a big whale spending kind of executive or organization. I would have feasted on second tier, good, respectable $6, $7, $8, $9 million a year contracts and built the core of my team and hoped a young player like Jordan Brooks would ascend in his second stop with an NFL team and grow up and become the NFL talent that he has the potential to be. But I wouldn't have gone big whale hunting. And, right now
they couldn't anyway. And nobody's complaining that they haven't done that. But they're not signing a lot of those players. And based on what I'm seeing on social media, there are as many people who are like, oh, see, people who thought the Dolphins were going to be big losers in free agency. Look at all the guys they're signing. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that.
Okay.
And correct. And there's 2 points I'm going to make here. Number one, let's see how it plays out, what the team looks like when training camp starts or even the start of the regular season. Number two, if you're going to try to pretend that the Dolphins are anywhere near in terms of talent now than they were before this whole thing started, you're crazy. Sorry, you're crazy.
Yeah, no. 2023, and we've said this, we knew this, we talked about it privately as a media contingent. 2023 was the best roster that they'll probably ever put around Tua. And I'm not like, it don't get better from this. And let's hope that, you know, they hit some home runs in the draft, and let's hope that they get some good late, because the second round of free agency hasn't even started. Third round of free agency hasn't even started. The free agency after the draft still to go. That's when you picked up a guy like Isaiah Wynn. You have a chance to put together a competitive team. Now, will it be better than 2023? Only way that happens is if Tua takes a massive jump. And I hate to bring up Tua because I know that's just going to be, you know.
I'm not.
You're not biting the cheese. Okay.
No, I'm not biting the cheese right now. And
it's also has to take a massive jump for them to be better than they were in 2023, in my opinion.
They're going to need improvement from certain players who they already had on the roster. I think, to me, that they've upgraded at tight end by adding Jonnu Smith without question.
They've upgraded an inside linebacker adding Jordan.
I agree because I think Brooks and Anthony Walker more than make up for the loss of Jerome Baker, but they massively downgraded at D
Jordan
tackle.
Brooks has way more upside than Jerome Baker. He probably has not been as productive throughout his career, but he's got way more upside and he's got tremendous instincts.
I agree. Here are the points I would caution against, and I said that yesterday. I'm going to repeat it again. Jordan Poyer, again, if we were talking 3 years ago, I mean, boom, that's a home run right there. Let's temper the expectation with Jordan Poyer. He's not the dude he once was. Now he's going to be a leader in the secondary. He's a savvy veteran, but again, he's going to be.
Listen.
What?
Was Deshaun Elliott good in coverage? No. Could Jordan Poyer potentially be good in coverage? I say it's a maybe.
He wasn't last year.
I know, but I'm just throwing a maybe on there. It's a possibility.
But I could say the same thing, that there's a possibility that Deshaun Elliott could have been better in 2024. I'm just saying, don't look at Jordan Poyer and boom, because I know how certain Dolphins fans are going to be like.
It's a name.
Poyer next to Javon Holland, boom, best safety tandem in the NFL.
No,
and I'm saying, whoa, simmer down.
Yeah, no, calm down on that.
Okay,
go ahead.
Now I was going to say that. I watch a lot of the games from around the league throughout the season. Number one. Number two, if there's a guy I don't have I don't feel comfortable with the amount of knowledge I have, I know writers who cover every single solitary team, and I'm going to reach out to them immediately when the Dolphins sign a player. Tell me about that dude. What are the Dolphins getting? Like, they're getting, for example, the latest signing, Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, fellow Canadian, hat tip to Neville. Born in Ottawa, the capital of the country. Former third-round pick out of Oklahoma.
Neville's only come from Canada.
Neville Hewitt. Neville Hewitt's not Canadian.
No, he was Haitian.
I thought he was
Bahamian?
Bahamian, I was going to say. Anyway, going back to Neville Gallimore, spoke to some people in Dallas, and the word I got is kind of an underachiever in Dallas and a bit of a jack. So, again, this is a guy.
Of a what?
Of a jag.
Okay, jag. I thought you were saying J-A. I was like, what?
No. So, again, this is a guy, he's going to be part of a rotation on the defensive line. If you use him in minimal snaps.
Bro, there ain't like, did you see the GIF I put up of Zach Sealer this morning?
Oh, the one with the Will Smith thing looking around. Anybody else left? Yeah.
I feel so sorry for Zach. Yeah. Like, now Pepper's gone. You're going to be playing maybe half a season without Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. You got slap at defensive tackle, And
Harsh.
uh, did I lie?
I thought
What
my drag was harsh.
what lied? Hey, who knows? One of these guys could be Kendall Lamb. Who knows?
Oh,
But
correct. That's the thing. And again, and maybe the coaching of Anthony Weaver brings out the best out of any of those guys that they signed. And the sum of the parts is a lot better than the individual parts themselves. I am just cautioning against thinking that this defense has not taken a major step back in terms of personnel.
well, let's look at it. Front line, drastic major step back in so many different areas, all across the board. Inside linebacker, step up. Cornerback, step down. Safety, I would say potentially step up. I'm sorry, but I was not a Deshaun Elliott fan. Could not.
Except he brought some physicality in the back end, and he
That's
had some
cool.
moments.
Yes,
To
that's
me,
true.
it's almost a wash because again, I am.
It might be.
And the word out of Buffalo is, and this is in fact, it was written. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The word out of Buffalo, from what I got, and also Tim Graham, who writes for The Athletic, wrote a piece when they did the massive cuts, including Sarah Neal and including Jordan Poyer, is that Jordan Poyer clearly lost a step in 2023, and at his age, and he played the entire season after having injury issues. The chances that he regains a step at his age, not great.
Yeah, man, it is what it is in this situation, in this scenario. Unfortunately, I like the upgrade. And could it not be an upgrade? It might turn out to be who's the safety that we got from New England that just turned out to be a dud. The twin, he was a twin.
He was a corner. Well, he was a corner safety. Jason McCourty. Dude, he played
Jason
1 year and he got hurt.
Yeah, but he was a dud before he got hurt. He'd lost his step. He wasn't good anymore. And it could be that. It could not. And I've been fortunate enough to see Poyer train with Bomarito, and I'm going to go out there, and and he's usually there. I've probably never been there when he's not there. He trains hard, and I'll see if he can still move, and I'm pretty sure he can. I'm pretty sure he can still move. I looked at him last offseason when he was a free agent. I was like, yeah, that guy can move. And I always feel, no, I'm not going to say anything. I don't know. I would rather put my eyes on a guy as opposed to and see what he can do as opposed to following the word and gospel of others' opinions.
Of course, but until we see that, like in training camp, because and in early in the season, again, I saw the Bills play quite a bit last year, and it didn't. I saw him beating coverage a lot more than I had in previous years, because in previous years that dude was a player. So my eyes.
Well, he also didn't have his safety tandem with him, I believe.
Yes, he did. He had Micah Hyde with him.
Micah Hyde was hurt.
Micah Hyde played. Micah Hyde had some injury issues, as I recall, but he did play a lot of games.
This is not about Micah Hyde, but yeah,
you're the one who brought him up, not me. Micah Hyde played 14 games, so okay. Okay. Let's go back to the defensive guy because we have a lot of topics. I have my list over here.
Give me your list.
I have my list. It's another departure. I mean, because you like to see Dolphin players getting paid. I mean, hats off for Rayquan Davis getting $14 million over 2 years from the Colts.
He's a nose tackle. Of course, I said that. I wrote that for alldolphins.com like back a year ago. Like, nose tackles are going to get paid. They're the rarest humans on the earth. Like, are you crazy? Like, nose tackles, it doesn't even matter how good you are.
You are not. You were going to tell me you were not. Your eyeballs didn't pop out when you saw 2 years, 14 mil for Rayquan Davis. Come on, man. Seriously?
I would have paid $6 a year. Yes, it didn't pop out. He's not a bad player. He was limited by the scheme, and I honestly think that if he played more snaps, he could have been more impactful. But obviously, you got salt and pepper. What do you need, Rayquan Davis? He was
maybe he wasn't good enough to justify more snaps. I mean, we were having this discussion. What's your career memory of Rayquan Davis with the Dolphins?
Minnesota, I believe he had like a sack and was really impactful. He did not have any calling card games like a Jordan Phillips, But bro, look at Jordan Phillips and Rayquan Davis. Tell me how many they're comparable, except one actually tries harder. Sorry, let me not take a shot. Let me.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but
yeah. Like Rayquan Davis did a tremendous metamorphosis of his body.
Sure.
Riding an exercise bike after every practice. He's probably about 320 pounds, tall, 6'7". I think that there is way more that he could have shown that he didn't do because of circumstances and situations. Look at that face. Look at that face. And you say I'm the only one that makes faces. Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at that face.
That was my sour lemon face.
Like,
dude, I'm sorry. And I said all along from the beginning, to me, he's a classic 4-3 DT, not a nose tackle.
Correct. I don't disagree with you. I'm not fighting you. He's too tall to be a nose tackle.
Correct.
But
there's no leverage.
Yeah, but I mean, he's played. I mean, in my research, $6 million is what you pay for a starter in the NFL. It just has been, and it's been for a while. Like a starting player that you're not getting off the discount bin because he's 30 or he's coming off an injury or whatnot. A second contract guy who has been a starter with another team and you're moving it to another team, $6 million is the baseline. That's just generally what teams pay starters. And I think Rayquan Davis, look at that.
I mean, we obviously disagree. I mean, no offense. No offense.
You're looking at it from the standpoint of Zach Sealer's making 8. Why is Rayquan Davis making 7? But Zach Sealer made 8.
Rayquan makes 6 or 5 if Zach Sealer's making 8. I mean,
I hear you. I cheer and root and
I know, and I said that. I said hats off to him. But to me, it's like I don't know. I mean, and I hope he balls out in Indy. I mean, good for him. And then it's good for the Dolphins actually that he got that money because he got him a 6-round compensatory pick if it stays the way it is, according to the over-the-cap guru Nick Corte had tipped to him. And right now he's got the Dolphins with 2 third-round compensatory picks for the loss of Robert Hunt, the loss of Christian Wilkins. And as far as I know, those things aren't even official yet. As we're taping this, and as of probably 75 things are going to happen while we tape this, because that's free agency. So 2 third-round picks, the 6 for Rayquan Davis, the 5th that we're going to get for.
I don't like this, and let me use my platform as the opportunity to.
Can I let me finish, and then you can do your.
Then I can piss all over it. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Go. So the Dolphins are going to get a 5 for Andrew Van Ginkel. Now that's offset by the contract they gave Jordan Brooks. They were going to get a 6 for Brandon Jones based on the
offset by the contract that they gave Jordan Brooks.
Correct. The average and these obviously these are projections because it also depends on playing time and postseason accolades. The projection, according to this dude, again, is that if you look at the yearly average for Van Ginkel was about 10. It's the same for Brooks. Brandon Jones was offset by the signing of Aaron Brewer, the center. Now go ahead and.
No. Give me the whole gallery of these compensatory picks. Give me the Christian. Throw them all on the pile. I
already told you. Christian would project to get a Dolphins at 3. Robert Hunt would project to give the Dolphins a 3. Rayquan a 6, and then you have the 2 offsetting.
Woo! Dolphins getting late round picks. Woo!
Third round picks. Joe Flacco to the Colts.
Huh?
Joe Flacco to the Colts 1 year up to $8.7 million.
Okay.
Okay.
Up to $8.7 million. So he's really making 4. Okay. But Joe Flacco continues to play, which is the important thing. We have spent such a long time, a decade, pissing away compensatory picks, not getting them because we're spending on free agency. And right now, okay, we're targeting players released just so that we can enhance our compensatory pick formula. While this is a way that good teams like Seattle and Pittsburgh and Baltimore have always supplemented, and 49ers have always supplemented their draft class and gotten younger, cheaper talent. Let me say this. If Chris Greer is still running the Miami Dolphins organization, his undrafted talent has just as much a chance of making it as his day 3 pick and having a better career. That's history. So I'm not going to sit here and Like say, give me all these late round picks. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sorry, I don't care.
It's
Like
a sick. The other
we
one.
cannot go from
Third,
we cannot go
third
from
round pick.
F them picks to let me get that compensatory pick. That's stupid. That's just stupid. We like I understand. So let's make it an entire cultural shift. Okay. So let's just stop throwing away draft picks and throwing away money, and let's just build through the draft. Since we're
Yeah, but
just now.
the thing I don't like about your point is you're suggesting that there was like a conscious effort, a conscious decision of like, okay, we'll let Christian walk because we're going to get a third round pick out of it. That wasn't the case. They didn't try and re-sign Christian because they wanted to allocate their money elsewhere. So if he's going to leave anyway, at least you get a third round pick.
Okay.
And a third round pick, you should be able to get a good solid player. I don't know.
Should maybe,
dude.
Could turn into Solomon Kinley. You never know.
It was a fourth round pick. At least get somebody in the correct.
What was the tight end? Was the tight end from Boston College? Damn.
Hunter Long. He was used to get Jalen Ramsey. Okay, so don't do that.
Listen, I'm sorry. Everybody taking these victory laps over compensatory picks.
Nobody's taking a victory lap.
People are taking a victory lap. See, you don't see my Twitter. You don't see my Twitter.
Oh no, I saw it actually from.
You don't see my Twitter.
I did.
You see your Twitter. Yeah. Oh no. Everybody's like, oh, we love these compensatory picks. Keep it going. Let's not sign anybody who's a free agent. Let's sign waive players. Let's keep these compensatory picks going. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you people are such losers. Like, it's just not.
That's rude.
Listen, I have gotten to the point where I believe that Chris Greer and Marvin Allen, their undrafted player, has just as much of a chance of making an impact as their fourth round draft pick. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know.
How about third round draft pick and Devon Achane? You think they would have gotten Devon Achane?
No. I'm not poo-pooing a third round pick. So congratulations.
So the cutoff is the fourth round pick.
Yeah. Once we head into that third day, it's a roll of the dice with this team. It's just a crapshoot. Like name me a third day pick that contributed more than Julian Hill. Not one. Doesn't exist.
Well, dude, they had 4 picks overall. I mean, so no, not one of them, but they had 4 picks overall. I mean, seriously.
And waived 2 or 3 of them?
Not last year.
Yeah.
They waived the 2 7th round. No, the 6th rounder and a 7th rounder. Mm-hmm. And when they brought back one of them to the
Julian Hill was better than the 6th rounder that they drafted. That's all you got to know about this team.
Oh, I agree.
And I'm not discrediting it. I'm not poo-pooing it. It's just the way this Dolphins team. Their undrafted players just generally have just as much of a good chance as their third day picks. So,
we're going into the wrong direction here. Okay, so let's go back to some transactions. Xavien Ahmed, the dude will not go away. He will not leave. Back for another year. I have to imagine, and I don't know that, and we wouldn't get the answer from his agent because the agent wouldn't say that nobody else wanted to sign him. But I have to ask myself, why is the dude coming back when he's going to be 4th, if not 5th, on the depth chart?
He's been 4th and if not 5th on the depth chart. He's a good gadget player that they really like. And you know, I like Xavien coming back. I know he just had a baby. He probably doesn't want to uproot himself and his family, which I can understand, but everybody's going to go to seize opportunity. And this might be the only opportunity he has. I'm glad he's back and I'm glad he's here. We'll at least be entertained in OTAs.
No, there you go. I know, I have like, and then there's some Dolphin fans who are like bitching about the re-signing. Chances are you're set with your guys on most third day channel. You're 1 and 2 on at running back. Brooks is a really intriguing dude, and if you're going to keep a forward, Jeff Wilson Jr. They haven't done anything with his contract yet, and as a 4th running back or a 3rd running back, you can do a lot worse than him. So if Xavien Ahmed wants to come back here, even if he doesn't make the roster, it's not. I mean, they're not paying him a ton, so it doesn't really matter. So I don't know the venom that was thrown his way. But I'm more.
People are mad because we said Devon Achane was better. That's all it is. They just don't want the threat.
No, we were saying they were the
They look
same
alike.
training
Yeah,
camp.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, they're mad because they wanted Derrick Henry because you said Derrick Henry was going to come to the Dolphins.
Why you gotta bring that up? I did not say Derrick Henry was going to come to the Dolphins. I said
you wanted, but
I knew the Dolphins were not smart enough to get Derrick Henry, and I knew Baltimore. Once somebody mentioned Baltimore to me, I was like, "Ah, damn, it's over," because Ozzie Newsome likes what I like, so it's over.
Dude, I tried to explain to you the logic of why Derrick Henry wouldn't come here unless the money was like this. And the logic is, how much do you think the Ravens are going to feature Derrick Henry in that offense?
15 carries a game.
If not more. If he comes to the Dolphins, it's like, Derrick, just stay quiet. We'll call you when we need you. Okay, we need to come on come on. So if the money was going to be close, he is going to be a key element to that Baltimore offense. And by the way, Baltimore's taking hits all over the place. Everybody talks about Buffalo. Baltimore's losing a ton of good players.
And they'll get some compensatory picks for him.
And they'll draft well, and they'll rebid, and they'll
draft well, and they'll reload. Yeah.
And they'll be right back where
they were. Drafting well.
Correct. And it's tough to draft well when you're 4 picks.
Dolphins are drafting well because they can't retain all their players. So.
Well, they certainly hit on Van Ginkel, certainly hit on Christian Wilkins, 2 guys who left. Brandon Jones is a 3rd-round pick. I don't know if I call that a hit.
Somebody thinks you hit.
Correct. Rayquan Davis has a 2nd-round pick.
Hey, man, you're going to get a compensatory pick for him, so don't turn your nose up at it.
It's a 6. Come on. Looking at my notes, Jonnu Smith addressed the media today. I pointed out to him that after I introduced myself, fellow FIU alum, I went to that school as he did. You didn't know I went to FIU?
Yeah, you Golden Panther, you.
And this is where I pointed out that when I went to FIU, they were called the Sun Blazers.
What a lame name.
I like Sun Blazers better than the Golden Panthers. Seriously. Be that as it may, he talked about how we binge-watched Hard Knocks with the Miami Dolphins in the offseason, and it solidified his decision to go join the Dolphins, who he already liked because he wanted to go try to win a championship, playing in this home city. And again, cool. The other question here is how many teams were after his services, and that's the
didn't he take another visit? He did take another visit, or
I don't know if he did. I do know that Drew said on the Joe Rose show that there were other suitors.
Yeah, I would be shocked if Miami was the only suitor. I would be shocked. He had a very good season last year. I would say he's the second best free agent addition that they've made so far.
And your number 1 would be who? Jordan Brooks?
Jordan Brooks. Yes, sir.
I could buy that. They're very close. Last thing I have on my list, on my very long list. No, two other things. Did you see the tweet Tyreek Hill saying Michael? I don't remember the exact phrasing, so don't hold me to it. But something along the lines of Michael Thomas playing for the Dolphins would be, and he does the emoji with like the loving, heavily diluted eyes.
Oh, so the Saints
released Michael Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Not our friend Michael Thomas, the safety, really good dude. Based on what I know of Michael Thomas, this is how can I put this delicately? High maintenance dude, volatile. Is that a polite way of putting it?
Diva. I'm the reputation, but I generally try not to judge people until I actually meet them and get to engage with them and get to see who they are and show their personality. So if Michael Thomas, he would, if healthy, he would provide that big physical presence that the Jarvis Landry type. I know fans get all in their feelings when I bring up Jarvis Landry. I would have no problems with it. None. You just don't want a diva. You don't know him.
I don't know him, but I know history repeats. Players don't go from being highly problematic in one place and all of a sudden it happens, but generally speaking, and there's a very good example of that I could bring up, but I'm not going to mention the name to you because you've heard the name more than you care to. It's a player the Dolphins acquired in a trade about 10 years ago who was a highly talented wide receiver, but who was a complete pain.
That
And
narcissist, you could say the name. I don't know.
yeah, but
It's
that was the same deal.
he's everything that you. No. Anyway,
He was a problem wide receiver with a lot of talent. Michael Thomas.
But is Michael Thomas a problem wide receiver or just a difficult wide receiver?
Well, it's kind of same thing. I don't know. I personally wouldn't go there. I wouldn't spend a lot of money. I mean, if they get him really on the cheap, sure, why not?
Throw it on the pile.
Sorry?
If they get him on the cheap, throw it on the pile.
Yeah, why not? And then the last thing I have on my list is some rule proposals that are going to be discussed at the owners' meetings in a couple of weeks, including
Hit me with them.
My favorite. I love this one. I really hope they do it. One time trailing in the fourth quarter, a team can go for it on its own 20, and it's 4th and 20. The Eagle proposal that they've come back with. It used to be 4th and 15. Now I guess they were trying to see if there's a better chance of doing it. I would much rather, this is purely from a fan standpoint, I would much rather watch a team in desperation mode try to convert a 4th and 20 than try to convert an onside kick when the other team knows it's coming, because it never happens. It's boring. It's just,
all right. Proved. Next.
You like it? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
and then the other one, there were 4 of them. I don't remember the other 2. They were like whatever. But the other one, I have been very vociferous in my dislike for instant replay.
I don't even know what that word means.
Forceful. Okay. I completely despise instant replay. Despise instant replay with every fiber of my body. It absolutely interrupts the rhythm.
You're a big fan, Joe. Yes, we know. Go ahead.
Okay, it's like it would be like watching a concert in the middle of songs. The singers would stop to put in a little anecdote about the song, or stop in the middle of playing and take a glass of water. I completely could not hate it more. But this one,
but I like the anecdotes about the song.
Between songs, that's fine. Not what I'm just saying. They would start playing the song and then stop. And and by the way, this song was
Well, this chord was inspired by.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even mind that. That would give me a very intimate experience. I'm all about the intimate experience. The intimacy.
Okay, and I personally would hate it. Anyway, so the proposal is
shut up and just perform.
No, talk between songs. Once you start playing the song, play the song. Anyway, the proposal would add an additional challenge if you are successful.
Okay.
Where right now there's a limit. I don't forget the rules. It's like what, two per half, regardless if you're successful or not. And then you could be, through no fault of your own, because the official make a bad call that you have to challenge. You run out of challenges, and then you're in a situation where there's another bad call and you can't challenge it because you're out of challenge.
I'm with you. You win a challenge, you get a challenge.
Exactly. So
hey, listen, you should start the season with 20 challenges and use them. You like that, don't you?
But you only lose them. You only lose them when you're wrong.
Oh, I like that. Hey, that could work. And you have to be very conservative about how you use these challenges. 20 a season. Somebody in the league keeps track, and you can use 5 a game if you want. But when you don't have them at the end of the season, tough titty said the kitty. So
I did remember one of the other proposal, and that one is last 2 minutes of a game, a team can challenge any call whatsoever. And that one, sorry, I'm not on board.
Any call whatsoever.
Yeah, because you remember,
never pass, but I'm all with it.
But yeah, to me, you can't start. What you're going to start? You can't challenge to me judgment calls.
You should.
Oh,
you should. I know. You should.
I can't, because again, what you're going to wind up again is you're going to disrupt the tempo of the game. They're going to go through the review. You're going to watch it on television.
Just more commercials.
Oh no, I know. The NFL wouldn't mind because of that, but
yeah, they make more money.
Viewing experience, it's like,
yeah, nobody cares about you. You're going to watch anyway, and you're going to gamble, and you're going to play your fantasy football, and you're going to tap it right into your vein, and you're not going anywhere, and they've got you hooked. So whatever makes them more money is what they'll do. That's generally the theory I've always put together with the NFL. If it makes them more money, they'll do it.
Which is why the 18th game is coming at some point. Don't know when, but it's coming.
Next CBA deal.
Yeah,
next
probably.
CBA contract.
Which is way down the line. So anyway, that's all I got on my list. I don't know if you had anything you wanted to touch upon.
What would you like to see the Dolphins do moving forward in the second round of free agency, which begins probably in the weekend?
Well, it's pretty obvious. There's the strategy right now is they're shopping on the cheap. I'd have to look. I wouldn't mind a corner.
Okay, you want a corner? I forget how to say his name.
Roxinya.
Yeah, Roxinya. You're like,
yeah, not bad.
Yeah. I would love to see the Dolphins go out and sign Eric Armstead. Versatile defensive lineman, very scheme diverse, has history with Mike McDaniel, very leader. I know it's going to be difficult to replace Christian Wilkins, but I'll tell you a little secret. Eric Armstead's better.
I don't disagree. I'm big fan of his. The scuttlebutt is and you had brought this up, so props to you. I don't have the mints anymore, so I have to do it. And it's not working anymore anyway.
Yeah.
There it goes. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Flowers for you or hearts for you. You mentioned Rand Carthon connection from the 49ers. Tennessee supposedly muy interesante.
Okay. Then Jeffrey Simmons. I'm curious to see what the Titans are going to do with the rest of their team. But anyway,
they signed Calvin Ridley today.
Who?
Calvin Ridley, wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
They got him. I'd love Eric Armstead. I think I'm with you. I think he's a great player. He's going to be pricey though.
I mean, you just turned your nose up at 4 years for $110 million on Christian Wilkins. You turned your nose up on 3 years for 64.5 on Leonard Williams. You got to get somebody. You're going to get what, DJ Reader? So you got to do something. You got to do something there. And if you're not going to do anything, then you're just going to head into the draft, and clearly everybody's going to know you want a defensive tackle at 21, and that makes you easy to beat.
One or two.
Yeah. So we will be back tomorrow. Are we going to do a live? What are we going to do? We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
All right. You know how to find us, alldolphins.com for free, no paywall, no subscription. Poupar's written 12 stories today on every signing and every move that's been made. I am loving life. So hopefully,
good. Like to hear that.
Yeah, new beginnings. So I appreciate everybody for watching, paying attention, staying tuned, and we will see you tomorrow.